I'd known Nicole for a couple of years and seeing how passionate she was about being a chiropractic assistant and how she really enjoyed helping people out and just kind of helping them find their way and what they wanted to do. So I was working as a civil engineer at the time. It's a good job. I enjoyed the math. I enjoyed the problem solving, but it just didn't get me out of bed. I wasn't excited about it. I wasn't passionate about it. And I saw her passion and I wanted to find something that I could do that was passionate for me. So I asked her, can we get together and can you help me find what my passion is? It sounds silly, but she said yes, and we met, and she said that after a while everything started pointing to personal training. So we came up with a plan that I'd go part-time in the evenings as personal training and then do that for a year. Then I'd go full-time eventually. 6 months into it, I said, this is going gangbusters. Met with her again and said, hey, I'm ready to transition over. How do I do that? She helped me through the whole transition, came up with another plan for that, got me out of engineering, right into full-time training, and the next stage was building my clientele. And I met with her over and over again, and I ended up becoming one of the top trainers in the 2-state area for the gym I worked at. And since then, it's just, I keep meeting with her, just make sure I'm at the top of my game.
So Nicole, when she left the chiropractic office and she decided she wanted to venture her career, she decided she wanted to be a personal coach. And she asked me what I thought about that, and I'm like, you'd be awesome at that because you're so much about how to help people reach a higher person or reach, personal goals to be happy and to be fulfilled in what they're doing at that time. Because a lot of us carry a lot of baggage, and sometimes we just need somebody to, hey, you need to change your mindset. So, of course, as being a friend, she's like, Trish, you should have a sample session of, coaching. And I'm like, okay, Nicole, we'll do that. And actually, it was very insightful, but it was very hard because hard but easy because she lets you be out there. It's like you can just lay it out there and you can try and hide it as much as you want that you don't really want to have it, deal with a deep down part of you. And she'll kind of pick up on it in your tone or your body language. And then she kind of she sets out these little roundabouts to get you to deal with what it is that's really holding you back. Because all of us hold so much baggage, it keeps us from obtaining our personal happiness or whatever it is you want to call it, and letting everything else drag you because you have to deal with that baggage. And she has this knack, this intuitiveness to be able to get that out of you, and then you can let it go. And that is probably the most amazing thing about Nicole.
One of the best things that I love about Nicole is not only did she help me become one of the best trainers in the area, in my professional life, in my personal life, she's helped me grow emotionally, spiritually, intellectually. And one of the ways she does it is through her intuition. She is able to pick up on cues or phrases you say or just different aspects of how you say things. I'll come to her with a situation or a problem that I think is because of this situation over here or because of X. And she'll listen to me and ask me a few questions, and all of a sudden she'll ask me this question that's kind of almost out of the blue, but it makes me look at that situation at a whole different angle, and it clears everything up. It's like one big aha moment, and it's able to give me like a solution or a path to deal with that situation, and it just helps me grow every time.
When I first met Nicole, she was working at my chiropractor's office behind the front desk, and I knew right away that she was a Spitfire because she knew everything about her job. She was very professional. She was always ready and able to give advice that was congruent with what the doctor had ordered for his patients. And knowing that and her confidence level when she went into coaching, it was amazing to watch her transform because she was so passionate about people and helping people in particular. The best thing about Nicole is she's intuitive. Her intuition is probably paralleled with many of the great gurus of the world. And that's not a term to use lightly. She is one individual who follows her gut feelings, and she will tell you in any setting, always go with your gut, because your gut will never let you down. And with my coaching sessions and my workshops with her, she is this professional woman, powerful and enlightening and empowering, and she's someone that you can't help but to want to be like. You want to emulate her because she's the total persona of professional, confident, very caring individual.
The thing about Nicole is she's read all the books. She's gone to the seminars, and what she's done is she's taken those principles, and there's something about her where she implements them into her own profession, and also she lives them, and it's part of her daily lives, and it's really a part of her character and a part of her soul. And you don't see that in too many people. And that's something where every time we get together, even if it's just for a few minutes or even 2 hours on the phone or in person, I always leave with something that I can use. I always leave with something that I can implement, and I look at things at a different perspective than I used to before. And I thought, that just makes a lot of sense, and I like the way that sounds. I really like the way that she thinks. When somebody has the ability to put a different spin on something, and with her it's very innate. It's not just something where she has to work through or think about it. It's just like an instant reaction with her, and that's what I like about working with Nicole.
I met Nicole in a very interesting way. I was on the radio program on WKTI, I believe it is, and talking about my company, the networking community. And the following day, I was up in Richfield at one of my group's meetings, and in walks this young lady, very professionally dressed, and joined us at the table. And we were just at that point going around the table and introducing ourselves, and it got to me, and I stood up and introduced myself, and she was sitting right next to me, and she goes, "I heard you on the radio yesterday. I've been trying to find you. This is very interesting." Now, you have to understand that she lives in Waukesha, and this was a 7:15 a.m. meeting in Richfield that she was going to, so she was looking to do some networking to, of course, grow her business. So immediately after the meeting, we sat and we chatted, and I just had such a good feeling about her, that she's very enthusiastic, very passionate about what she does, very passionate about wanting to help people. So at that point, she came into the networking community as one of my group leaders and of one of the women's groups. And so we grew this group, and she was so passionate about helping people to get into the networking community that she actually was my marketing arm for a while, where she would invite in guests and take them to a variety of the different meetings and introduce them with such enthusiasm and just really, I said, passionate about not only her own business, but also helping other people to grow their businesses through this wonderful thing called networking.
So, in with talking about things that hold us back and what we're all going to do and how we can achieve this, she has a way of saying, all right, Trish, or Susie, or Mary Jane, or John, or whatever, what's the worst thing that can happen? Why is things holding you back? And you start to think about it, it's like, well, I don't know. We set these roadblocks, and she basically is saying, what's the worst thing that's going to happen that's going to keep you from obtaining the goals you want, the desired level of happiness, that what is it worth to you that you want to hang on to that? And basically you start thinking, well, there really isn't anything, so why am I holding it back? Why am I more concerned about everybody else? And so she's actually setting out with me right now a game plan for me to get beyond everybody else. My whole life has been about everybody else, and she's helping me hone in on it's okay for me to be about me. And that's kind of what we're working on right now.